Happy hellos to all you creative beings. My name is Priya. I'm the artist guide from The White Canvas, and I'm always thrilled to be able to connect with you. Watercolors can look intimidating. That sure is how I felt when I first tried. There's a certain unpredictability with watercolors that kept me away initially, but turns out that when you give it half a chance, it's actually a beautiful medium of paint. In this tutorial, I'll quickly explain how I achieved this result. A symbol familiar to us as the symbol of balance, yin-yang. On one half you see the watercolor application, and on the other a technique called Zentangle, a fun way to create patterns with a combination of lines and curves and dots. It's very casual and far from structured. When the call for limited socializing came and then the lockdown materialized, I'm certain art supplies were the furthest thing from our minds to stock up on. So I used things I found in my daughter's school bag. Pictured here is a watercolor cake set. It's a 12-color Monami branded watercolor cake set, a size 10 round tip brush, a pencil, an eraser, a black outline Koki, a matte set with compass and protractor, and a ruler. I used a round canvas to create my masterpiece, but you can use watercolor paper, although ordinary paper may be too thin to withstand the application of the colors. The first step would be to divide your circle precisely down the center. Draw two circles side by side, with each having a diameter equal to the radius of the full circle, in my case, the full canvas. Within each of those circles, exactly in the center, draw a smaller circle with a diameter equal to the radius of the two circles. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so next, I outlined using the black Koki the left outer side of the bigger circle, crossed over the center line, and continued the outline on the right outer side of the second bigger circle. The first thing I learned with watercolor is how the paint travels on paper or canvas, so I wanted to explore this a little more. The best way to explain the technique that I used is with the word bleed. To start, I applied water only to one of the smaller circles. Then I chose 2 or 3 colors from my palette. So you'd need to add a generous splash of water to each cake so that the color is applicable. Is that even a word? Well, applicable it is now. So gently with one color, touch the little puddle of water you've applied to the small circle, and you'll see the color beginning to spread. So you keep dabbing in the color until you're satisfied with the space that you've covered. Then you choose the second color and apply it to the edge of the previous color. Then you watch how the colors bleed into each other. You can complete that little circle now either with just the 2 colors, or you can add in a 3rd color. So before you move on to covering any other part of your symbol in the watercolor, you would want to erase all of the pencil marks that we initially made in order to create this precise shape. What you will do after you've erased all the lines, and now you need to be careful because the colors in that little circle are still wet. After you've erased the little the lines, the pencil lines, you can use your outline black Koki and outline the other circle, the one that's now not going to be covered in watercolor, but it's going to be filled with a Zentangle pattern. You want to outline that so that you know not to go into that space. At this stage, I also wanted you to take note of the shape that you've actually created. The yin-yang sign is made up of two paisley shapes that lock into each other, and that now makes up your entire circle. Finally, the symbol is made with just black and white, where one paisley shape is white with a smaller black circle within it, and the other paisley shape is black with a smaller white circle within it, symbolizing the duality that the universe is governed by. Sets of two opposing and complementing principles that can be observed anywhere: dark and light, male and female, moon and sun, etc., etc. So our aim here with this more modern version of the symbol is to cover the one side with watercolor and the smaller circle to have the Zentangle pattern in it, and the other paisley shape to be covered in the Zentangle pattern with the smaller circle filled with the watercolor. As you proceed over your piece, you want to continue covering the opposing paisley shape now with the watercolor using the same technique. Wet first, dab in the colors, and watch the colors bleed into each other. The benefit to the paint medium that we're using is that even after the color looks dry, just a touch of water can quickly reactivate it, and you can easily continue where you left off. So the idea would be to complete the opposing paisley shape, excluding the little circle. Complete the shape by covering it entirely in your watercolors. So once you're done, you want to give your colors some time to dry. I actually prepared supper in this time, but you could also use this time to plan what kind of shapes and patterns you would like to see in the Zentangled paisley shape. Although I did say it's unstructured, but you want to have an idea of how to fill the space. Some parts of mine are inspired by mandalas and mehndi art. It did take me a few hours to complete, but it was a very, very soothing and calming experience. So I hope this video inspires you. I would really love to see your masterpieces. Please feel free to post them on social platforms like Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at Paint the White Canvas. Until next time, love ya, bye.